Thanks, Brian. It's Finance Friday. First Ontario's Chief Risk Officer, Mark Perkins, is here to talk about the Canadian pension plan. And to kick it off, we have a viewer question. By the way, good morning.
Good morning, Rick.
So our question is from Star from Dunnville, who says, I'm turning 60 next year and contemplating taking the early CPP benefit. While I'm aware I will receive less payment, I'm wondering what the tax implications are. I'll still be working and likely not retiring until at least 65. Am I able to put some or all of these early payments into an RRSP or TFSA? I am also married and my husband is still working as well. Will this put us in a tax bracket we don't want to be in?
So there's a lot there. Yeah. So why don't we start from the beginning and talk about CPP, so the Canadian Pension Plan. So if you've lived and worked in Canada, you've contributed to CPP and therefore have some sort of benefit entitlement in your retirement. If you've lived and worked in Canada your whole life, that could be a material part of your retirement plan. So CPP, the standard is you're going to take it at 65, but the government reduces it, as Star is aware. You get less if you start taking it early. So it's 0.6% per month. So if you take it that full 5 years early, it amounts to 36% reduced amount that you're going to get on your monthly payment. And you can also defer it. You can defer up to 70. You can defer it longer, but there's no benefit to doing that. And if you defer to 70, you actually get 7% per month that you defer. So if you defer all the way to 70, you're actually going to get 42% more. So I think it's probably helpful for some of the viewers to just do an example. So if you start with $1,000, say your CPP monthly benefit entitlement is $1,000 at 65. You take that at 60, that's going to be $640 instead of $1,000.
Big difference.
You defer it to 70, that's going to be $1,420 instead of $1,000.
Also a big difference,
yeah, so it really comes into, you know, do you need the money? What is your plan? How are you strategizing taxes? You always want to talk to a professional about your unique scenario. The other piece here is the marginal tax rate. So while you're working, you're making income, and CPP is a taxable benefit. So if you are taking that money early and you're in a higher tax bracket, you're going to see less of it. So it's not just how much you're going to see, it's going to be how much ends up in your pocket eventually. So there is some materiality there.
So from the investment strategy part of the question, RRSP, TFSA, is that worth doing?
Well, I mean, you just have to look at the math a little bit. So again, you claw back 36% or 7.2% per annum. In order to make that up, even if you put in an RRSP and you're deferring those taxes, you now have to make 7.7% annual return just to break even. So it is opening yourself up to an investment risk. Now, TFSA is a bit different because you're shifting the tax strategy. You're putting into something that you're not deferring the taxes. You're accepting the tax implications. But honestly, like 7.7 to 8% return per annum is not something a lot of people see in their investment portfolios, especially as they're nearing retirement and they want to reduce their risk. So when you go to take that money later in life, you're not subject to whether there's a war in Iran, whether there's a tariff battle going on, the international economy and stocks are down. Like, the government takes all that risk for you, and it's a guaranteed payment. So the other thing that
really quick, because we're almost out of time.
Sure. The other thing we need to quantify is life expectancy, and we just can't do that. So it really is part of an all-in plan you want to think about. So.
Great advice as always. Mark, thanks for joining us today.
All right.
If you have a question, you can send your questions in to FirstOntario.com or Finance Friday at FirstOntario.com. And if your question or topic is selected to be covered on air, you'll receive a gift card from First Ontario Credit Union.